Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Rachel and I'm so glad you're here. Today is episode 3 of Getting Right for 2021 and today is all about tackling paper clutter. Let's get started. Okay, so I feel like paper clutter is totally a normal thing and you don't have it piled up intentionally. It just kind of happens over time, especially with busy lives. So it's totally understandable. So today is all about sharing some tips with you to make sure that that insane pile never happens again. I know it sounds very daunting and overwhelming, but I hope it's encouraging to know that after this time that you kind of purge everything and keep the important things, that you will no longer have such a big task. You know, it'll be a smaller amount of time each day or each week, each month, depending on the routine that you want to set. Number one, you just gotta start and just gotta do it one day.
Oh my goodness, guys, how ironic is it that I'm filming this video this week and my mom actually dropped off a pile of papers that belong to me to go through. So I just thought I'd show you me categorizing, and I will talk a little bit more about my piles in just a sec. Like I was saying, in order to maintain having less paper clutter, the number one thing is to just do it as soon as you can, so it's just out of your space and out of your mind.
So just like organizing a space, I like to, have all my paper in one place and categorize it. So maybe I put all my car papers over here, all my apartment papers over here, important documents in one pile, work things, taxes. So just make lots of piles. And in these piles, you want to make sure that you are keeping things that you actually need. So only the important stuff really stays. My big rule that I like to use is that if you haven't looked at it or thought about it in, I say 1 year, but 1 to 2 years, if you haven't thought about it, looked at it, anything like that, or needed it, then you can probably toss it. After you have gone through all of your piles, you will obviously have huge piles of things that you don't need. I would definitely put these into 2 separate categories. One can be stuff that you can recycle, so things that don't have your information on it, and recyclable materials. Not everything they send or you get is recyclable, so check on that. So I would have that as one pile, and then another pile of things that you need to get rid of that have your personal information on it. You can recycle all this stuff in the first pile, and then the second pile, there's 2 options that I really like to get rid of this clutter. Second option to get rid of the extra paper clutter that you have gone through and know you don't need is to shred. Now, of course, some people own a shredder and you can also just go out and buy one, but there's also companies out there that come and pick up your extra stuff and shred it for you. So professional shredders are out there, so you definitely can check that out. And also, I think in some neighborhoods, a shred truck kind of comes around every so often throughout the year. So in your neighborhood, you should definitely check that out. And third option is so fun to get rid of paper clutter, and that is to have kind of like a bonfire. Maybe someone in your family has a nice backyard, fire pit, things like that. You can just bring all your paper clutter that you don't need anymore and kind of toss it in. Great fire starter. So you can also do that, and if you have a fireplace at home, you can throw it in there too. I love this idea because it's fun and it makes the whole task of going through paper clutter not seem so negative. So after you've decided what you're going to keep and toss, now you can start thinking about what was in that toss pile that I really don't need ever again. So you can think about your bills and things that you can get sent to you electronically these days. So think about that and anything that you can eliminate with that. Maybe there's stores that send you things that you might not go to anymore. You can unsubscribe from them, get their emails instead. Another big thing that I think piles up, definitely unintentionally, but if you have kids and they are school age, I, as a teacher, know how much paper comes home. And I think I know because my mom and dad did this, is you would get the folders home and it's just like this huge pile and you kind of just put it off to the side. Let's not do that anymore. Personal experience, during quarantine, I had to go through all of my schoolwork from elementary school and just saw how much it piled up. So maybe think about, as soon as you get that folder, just have your recycle bin ready to go. Obviously, obviously keep the good stuff that they do in the fun projects, but there's lots that can just be gone right away, and so it doesn't linger around. Okay, so now that we know what we're going to keep out of all of our papers, we have our different categories. It's time to think about storing options and ways that you want to keep the stuff you're going to keep in your home. So I have a few options to show you. So let's talk about this first, and this is what I actually have for all of my important things. It's such a cute little file box, and it was $5 at Target. I will link it down below in case you are interested. I love it for obviously the price, and two, it's like so durable and it's sleek and it fits really nice. It's not too huge or anything like that. And I love that this container is clear so you can always see inside. That's with most containers I buy. I like when they're clear so it's easy to see inside. I can easily get something if I need it and I know exactly where it is. So the lid comes off, and then inside is where those categories are going to come in handy. So you'll also want to pick up either folders, or you can get creative and, you know, make it out of heavy duty construction paper. You can use different folders, things like that, to store all of your categories. So each file, I just write, you know, what it is. So I have one for car, apartment, any of my credit cards that I have open, work things, and also a really big one is just an important documents folder, and that's where I house all my stuff that you need for your whole life, you know, like your birth certificate, social security card, things like that that are like super important. So I like just having them all right there. I know exactly where they are when I need it for something. So that is probably my most important and biggest one that I want to tell you about, to make sure you include that. Oh, and another thing that I also keep in here that I feel like can be under important things, or, you know, paper, is manuals to any like appliances you have. I feel like they pile up in a kitchen drawer and they kind of get kind of annoying. So I also fit those in here just so all my paper is all in one place. This box is also cool because you can even do those hanging files. I don't have those, like, but if you have a real file cabinet and you use those green hanging ones, they fit in here too. So this box is like the perfect size, and I feel like, I mean, it's just me, but I feel like this is a good size to keep things, and you can also get multiple and maybe have one for every person in your family. So I think they're really nice, and I will link it down below for you to check out. So of course, all of those piles that you created just go straight into a file folder and you are all good to go, and this can be stored nice and chic in your closet. Since we were talking about kids and all the fun things that they do in their childhood, this is also a great box to house any schoolwork for probably their entire academic career. I mean, it kind of dwindles after elementary, but you can have a file folder for each grade they're in, or you can divide it out however you want. But I think that'd be a really cute idea, and I always see it on Pinterest, is to have one of these to kind of keep all of their stuff, and then later in life you can just give them this nice cute box and they will have tons of memories to look at. Next, I want to talk about this little guy. This is kind of a, I don't even know what you really call this, but let me tell you what I put in it. I put in all of my receipts that I need to save for, maybe I donated or I need it for taxes or things like that. I like to get one of these, and this one is super cool because it also has tabs. So maybe if you own a business or something like that where you need to house receipts or anything really, if you're a big coupon person, definitely pick one of these up. I also got it at Target, so I will link it down below. And last option for storing paper is this cute, I like to call it a little suitcase, but it is like an accordion file folder. Comes in this cute little suitcase. So I love this option because obviously it's cute, but it holds a lot. It's pretty durable. I mean, these get pretty heavy. This is mine from school, and in my classroom, if you checked out my A Day in My Life video, you saw that my classroom is not the biggest or probably the typical size of a classroom. So storing things can be challenging, and big furniture is really hard to fit in there. So I try to come up with ways to use my space efficiently and make sure that the kids ultimately have the most room. So storage is something I think about a lot in there, and I love these because they fit so nice on this bookshelf I have behind my desk for all of my paperwork. That is where this is. I also got this at Target, and I will link it down below. They come in so many cute colors. So let's open it up and take a look. I love this one because it already comes with the different file folders already ready to go in case you don't really feel like going out, getting the folders, all that extra with this. This one is just kind of all in one. So they're ready to label with your categories. So we have talked about getting rid of the problem and storage solutions. So let's now talk about maintaining this and making sure that that pile doesn't build up. So here are a few things that I want you to think about. I think setting a routine with this is so important. I kind of talked about it with going through kids' work from school is as soon as you pick up the mail, get a recycling bin ready so you can put anything that you don't need or all of that junk mail that they sent right into the recycling bin, so it's just out of your way from the beginning. I also think that it would be really beneficial if you set a day aside, or let's be real, like a few hours. It shouldn't take a day anymore after this experience. So spend a few hours, maybe every 6 months, just going through your file folder and like, oh, I actually don't really need that anymore. Oh, it's actually on my computer, and just taking those times to maintain getting rid of your paper clutter. Also, going along setting some time aside to go through your file folder, it's also important to maybe come up with a routine. Maybe it's in your Sunday routine or Monday routine or even a daily routine to just take 5 minutes, go through any paper that has come in the door today. I definitely think that is the most efficient way to maintain less paper clutter in your space. And also, like I mentioned earlier, don't forget to sign up for e-billing or paperless billing and get everything emailed to you. It helps so that there's less paper coming to you, but also it's helping the environment because we don't even need to use paper. So it's a win-win. All right, friends, so those are my tips for tackling paper clutter this year. I hope that these help, and so we can all live with a little less paper clutter around us, cluttering up our space and our minds. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like down below. And also, if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. Also, next week will be episode 4 of Getting Right for 2021, and I'm super excited for it. So make sure that you tune in, and I will see y'all next time.